Welcome one, welcome all to this great video that's going to change your life because it's going to give you new meaning. It's going to give you hope. It's going to break down all those lies, all the misconfusions, and it's going to give you a proper order to enable you to see more clearly. There's a lot of bullshit. And it takes somebody who really puts to work their passions to find the truth of life. You know, we can be running around, loving skateboarding, loving smoothies, loving running. But what's the purpose of it all? Okay, this is what this video is going to explain to you. So, this was a video request by my great friend Jay. I'll leave his channel down below. He's an amazing guy and he will lead you to great depths of your soul, just like our relationship has. So I do have some notes, and so yeah, I'll start of it with this. So the science of astrology began when we started noting that the sun comes up every day and then sets into the night where it becomes dark. And then again, the sun comes up, life, and then it sets again. And then we noticed, wow, it's winter now. Oh my God, it's summer now. Oh my God, it's winter again. Oh my God, it's summer again. Once we started seeing these patterns, this is when astrology became a thing. It wasn't until later that astrology and astronomy became two different subjects. Astrology is basically the world's first religion. All religions are based off the sun coming up and then the moon coming out. The sun coming up and then the moon coming out. And then it turning from winter to summer. Turning from winter to summer. And how to survive during these times. Little rant, we've gotten out of nature and we're now living in like artificial worlds. We're dependent on the system instead of nature showing us how to survive. We're looking towards government to show us how to survive. That's what they want. They want to make the kids have kids at younger ages so that way they don't have no wisdom and they can go ahead and make them depend on the government for survival. So we need to depend on ourselves. We need to become the elder and we need to teach what's right. End of rant. All right. So after we realized, the seasons and the night and day was a thing, over time we recorded the habitual patterns of the visible planets and stars. This is where it gets a little confusing now. But it took about 15,000 years to record certain planetary orbits that happen at the same time. They would see Jupiter, they would see Venus, and they would note its track in the sky. Venus actually makes the shape of a star, but it's a curved star. If you cut an apple and you look inside, you see the star of the apple. That's the same pattern that Venus traces in the sky. So it got all these different orbits of these different planets, and then became the first mythologies about these planets. We put human characteristics to these traits because that's just how we relate to the world around us. Now, the whole mind control of society came when they took the understanding of what's going on with the patterns in the sky, and how it affects us here on life. And they took that and made it something literal, and they made a religion for you. Instead of being at one with nature, with the great spirit of life and love and of the wonder of, wow, where am I? You were told of this and that. And then came the atheism. Like, no, like this, and I'm not even gonna, because I was atheist, but listen to this. No, like, it's just an orbit, it's just gravity, it's just life and its perfection, coincidental, like, there's nothing magical going on here. And you can think that until one day something crazy happens where you're just like, something's going on here. You know what I mean? Something bigger than what I thought is going on here. And once you have that thought, that's when astrology can open up for you. Because not even thought. Once you have that experience that takes you out of that slumber state. For me, it was my mom dying on January 13, 2013, 13 days before my 17th birthday. And, those numbers just kept following me. And real quick, I don't want to talk too much about myself, but the day that she died, after it, I did a seance and a song, and her spirit came and touched me and I felt it on my arm vividly. It was a reassuring touch. I felt it. And this was my experience. It took me from atheism when I was 16. And I'm 27 now and have been on the path to studying this since then. Not even just read, but see the signs, see the synchronicities, see the magical coincidences happening, journaling them, until eventually I understand. The sun gives us vitamin D. And not only that, if we don't have vitamin D, our immune system is not activated. The moon is highly intertwined with a female's period cycle. So when we see that, and we'll talk more about that. I'm gonna have my fiance come on, and she gets more into the feminine experience, because I don't have that. I have more of the masculine experience, and I can only just tell you that the sun is a masculine energy because it never stops shining. It's always going. There's no sunset for the sun. And the moon comes to light the darkness of the night, just like women. We'll get more into that later. Now, this video is going to be as long as it needs to be. So yeah, eventually we made up stories to help explain why the planets and stars continue these patterns in the sky and their effect and correlation with life here on Earth. Now, like I said, this is where it's open to interpretation, because the constellations have been known that when certain planets run through there and the certain Earth is tilted this way and it's going here, that certain things just happen. It's up to you to go in your modern day astrology and see, okay, this is where we're at, this happened here, this is where I am, this is what my synchronicity told me the other day. And it's basically just a map of the sun and the moon, when the moon is full, when the moon is new. When the moon is full, you have more energy in your blood. When the moon is new, you have less energy in your blood. So you want to utilize this when it comes to your workouts. You don't want to do too much hard workout on a new moon, because you don't have as much blood energy in your blood. You want to do your harder workouts around the full moon, because you have more energy in your blood. And This is your personal fitness. This is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is not Beachbody. This is, I need to get myself in alignment and stronger for myself so I have more clarity, focus, intention, money, and happiness. Let's keep going with this. It's definitely fascinating to know that there are other planets out there that we can see with the naked eye. That we've been able to see, wow, this one goes this way. And right when they meet together here, while the sun's over here, something crazy happens. This is where a lot of people get lost, because it's not like it's a guideline. It's not like it's a blueprint. It's not like it's a map. It's not like it's a defined definition, because in the sky, yes, there's patterns. And however, these patterns can't be the only thing that we rely on, because at any moment things can switch up, and there'll be no astrological reason to tell why. This is why people stopped using astrology to make any sense of anything, because spirit, God, the universe is magical, mysterious, and mythical. And you cannot put God in a box. As soon as you say, I know what God is defined as, God will come to your life, knock on your door, and make your whole house disappear. Say, nope, that's not what I am. Because you can't, then this is not literally, but God would be like slipping right, as soon as you think you can grab onto God, God slips right out and says, nope, you can't catch me. You can't put me in a box. But all the people who can't accept that, they're the ones driving the world towards lust and anger. Do you think that's a healthy way to go? Ask yourself that. Because you can't accept that you can't put God in a box. You might as well be full of lust. You might as well be full of anger. You might as well just want to control everything. Because you have no idea what you're doing here. Let's move on. So the sun and the moon have the most direct effect on us here. Like I said earlier, it's highly correlated, the moon with the woman's cycles. I can't wait for that video, so definitely check that video out. Subscribe for more. We're going to have that out, so I'll link it in here once we get that up. And the sun gives you the vitamin D. If you don't have vitamin D, guess what? You can't get it from a capsule. They're lying. Your immune system won't be activated. You need it from the sun. If you don't get it from the sun, and you take it from a pill, and you think you can sit in your house all day, relying on the government to teach you how to survive, rather than depending on your own spirit and instincts with nature, like how it's supposed to be, one, you're going to be a Neanderthal, because you're going to think that you have to eat everything. You're not going to have no spiritual guidance. You're not going to have no respect for life. And two, you won't get your vitamin D out there in the sun. You know what I mean? You won't. And that's the only way to activate your immune system. And thus, allergies, cancer, and more are created. So, but noting the other planets and their orbit can help you bring an understanding to what's going on in your current life. So, for instance, Saturn, the slowest moving planet. This, when we created mythologies about it, was represented as the father of time, because it's the slowest moving one. And the influence of this energy that is slow shows you something. And when you connect the dots with like what's going on right now, you can see the different elements to it. And the energies, the planets definitely add different elements of prediction. But like I said, you can't predict spirit. Spirit predicts you and moves accordingly. So when it comes to predictions, everything cannot be predicted with astrology because God is unpredictable. And as soon as we think we know what God is, that's when God slips from our grasp and shows us, you can't put God in a box and label it as defined. I already went over that. This is the mysterious nature of our reality. Science wants to know, no, but guess what? They can't. No. You got to realize and accept and come to peace with your life. So that way we're not fighting each other over what's right and what's wrong. You know what's right and what's wrong? Killing people for greed. You have no right to do that. That's wrong. So anyway, using astrology, here's the meat of the potatoes. So for all y'all still listening, my gratitude. Let's get to it. So using astrology in accordance with your personal synchronicities, dreams, and health can be a lot of fun and can give you a nice personal understanding of what's going on at a deeper level of your spirit. So the only way you'll ever be able to activate astrology is not by studying it, but it's by, if spirit is flowing through you and you're like, I need to know more, what is it? And spirit is like, here. You know, that is how you can activate astrology. Astrology is just what? We're just looking at the patterns of the sky. But it doesn't mean anything if we're not paying attention to our dreams and our own synchronicities. You see the same number happening. That's my spirit guides. I see the same number all the fucking time. It started with my mom, January 13, 2013, 13 days before my birthday that she died. That's when it started. You will have your time when it starts too. And if you already did, great, that's why you're here. And you have to use your own synchronicities and your own dreams with the astrology to activate it, because if not, it's just a piece of paper. You have to know you can't put spirit in a box and you can't predict everything, because spirit is unpredictable. Spirit predicts you. Spirit will give you clues, but it's not all just in the rotations of the sky. It's also with the coincidences in your life, because spirit flows through all of life, and spirit will use this person to say this to you. Spirit will use this person to say this to you. Spirit will say, oh, watch this video on YouTube for you. And then you could, at that point, correlate it with the sky and what's going on. Be like, oh, cool, that's this and this. You know, but guess what? There's a greater understanding here. This is why also tarot is used with astrology, because the tarot is the book of life. They talk about Thoth creating the book of life. That's the tarot deck. And it has no words, because pictures speak millions of words. And in 72 cards, that's a lot of words of pictures. So you have to see how it relates to you, how your spirit is understanding it, because you do got a spirit and you have to trust it. The minute you start thinking, I can't get it, I'm not worth it, that's the minute the lust and greed, mind control of atheism has got you. And I got allergies here, you know, so please forgive me. Working on destroying my allergies with consciousness. It's going well. So yeah, that's one of the main meats and potatoes of this video. You need to activate your astrology with your synchronicities, dreams, and personal health. Because when it comes to medical astrology, this means eating with the seasons and eating to your own specific needs. And you can help know that by going inside yourself and trusting yourself. But the archetypes given from the deep subconscious within astrology can also help you connect to the greater whole. As above, so below. As within, so without. This means that while we cannot predict Spirit's plan, we can get clues by following all the different pieces that we have to observe here, including the planetary rotations, and get an idea of where to move next in our present moment. Not in 1,000 years, not in 100 years. All we have the power to do is to steer our own life in a certain direction. And the more that we do that as a collective, we can see a lot of positive change. So let's get deeper into that. So when it gets into that, what I just talked about, you can use the energies of the seasons and the seasonal changes to direct your intentions and actions in a certain direction. This will allow you to tap in to your higher manifestations. The more synchronicities you receive, the more coincidences that come, the more you dream about things and write them down and see how they apply to your life, you'll be able to see that I can manifest something. I can manifest this. And you won't be able to manifest it with good health, mentally and physically, if you're not with Spirit. Spirit will give you that good health. With good health comes good luck. Luck is Spirit being on your side. I'm not saying you have to eat the best foods, but guess what? The more you're aware of your health and are taking care of yourself, that's taking care of Spirit, because you are Spirit. And Spirit will be able to flow through you more because you're not blocked up and damaged and damned. Alright, so I'm going to keep going with my notes because we have a little order here and I'm kind of getting out of order. So, alright, let's start with this. It says, the collective here are mostly on a level of being manipulated to have lust and anger consume them. So if we want to predict what's going on with the collective in astrology here on Earth, not in the whole entire universe, but we just want to predict what's going on in the collective mind here on Earth, it's just like predicting what could go on with ourselves. It's just like predicting our own synchronicities and dreams with astrology. We just have to move it to a different level. We have to become the collective. And there's a lot of negative energy there, so you might not want to stay there. That's why a lot of people don't want to reincarnate here, because the direction that Earth is going in. But as you see, we have to realize, just be honest, a lot of people here are being manipulated to be full of lust. And this creates a very zombie mind, because what comes from lust? All the other negative emotions. And war comes from lust. Everything. So if you're not balanced out there, you already know they're winning. So, when it comes to collective astrology, just realize it's not a personal astrology this time, and we're just talking about people on Earth. There's no way that you can predict what is going to happen with everybody. Spirit is unpredictable. It might make you feel better to have some type of landing platform to land on when it comes to the mystery, but ultimately you can't predict everything. Now the Mayans, what they did, they have a different astrological system of days, and different planetary rotations, but they were able to say, okay, in this amount of years, the energy will be here. And you could do that. But the way that you predict it might not just come out how exactly you thought. It might be more metaphorical, or it might even be very subtle. That's why the most important thing to do is live in the present moment, because you can't predict spirit. So if we are to break the bonds holding ourselves and our loved ones and fellow loved earth beings, then we must all tap into our true spiritual essence and develop our intuitive abilities and connection with God in our hearts. So that way, the work we do creates a domino effect that will eventually take everyone out of lust, period. And you could say and greed, but I'm correcting myself. Take everyone out of lust. That's where we're at. And it's not about hating lust, because now you're out of balance. You're hating. You're not love. Using astrology to help you pinpoint certain business results you want to achieve at certain quadrants of the year can help you activate and get this done. It can help you activate and achieve the necessary domino effect through your work to destroy the enemy of lust and greed and power domination. Using this in alignment with the moon cycles will really help you manifest and see the bigger picture of astrology and the cycle of our sun through the different constellations. Aligning with nature will give you the highest rate of success when it comes to your health. Seasonal eating. What is that? That's just an imaginary box. Getting enough sun, vitamin D. Oh, I don't need that. I could just take a pill. Noticing what goes on around the full moon. Oh, I don't need that. That's just a coincidence. I don't need to journey. It's just everything happens to me. It's all spirit is unpredictable. I don't need to predict it. But guess what? You have intelligence as well that can allow you, and this is where astrology began, to chart out the certain patterns. And it's not just only when it comes to the planets now, because as above, so below. It's everything that happens in your life. The food that you eat, the people that you meet, the places that you see. And in this case of our nude age, the numbers that always talk to you. So, rewind that if you need to hear it again. Leave your comments below if you're confused or have any questions. When your health is aligned properly, your mind can activate to its fullest function. And your mind's fullest function comes from allowing your spirit and intuition to flow unhindered by a manipulated mind. Astrology is mysterious and keeps evolving as we do. The orbits in the sky don't make a perfect 360-degree rotation, which is a circle. The Earth is on a, for instance, 365.24 degree rotation. And I'm, as we know it, that there's definitely more numbers after that decimal point, so it's a guess. And it's not that accurate, But yeah, we can refine it, and go crazy about it. But guess what? Spirit gives you everything you need right now. So let's keep going, though. Hold on. Definitely take that Earth is on a 365.24 degree rotation in consideration when predicting many, many years into the future what may happen. Because you have to see that, well, maybe you're a couple hundred years, give or take, out of reach of the prediction. That's why it's hard to predict that far. But you can do it, for fun, just to see what may happen, and then, act accordingly with your business plans, so that way you can get the best manifested energy out of your intentional actions for the collective good of the world, the one great work, which is raising consciousness for everybody. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you thought about the video. I'm going to read from my script here for a second. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. Also, if I missed anything and you would like to add to this, leave your input down below. Thank you, and I will leave you with this quote that my CoStar app, if you don't know the CoStar app, you can get it. And it's a really good astrology app. I'm not an affiliate. I just use it all the time. My fiance showed me it, and I love it. I use it every day. It's really awesome. It's funny how it always turns out to be accurate for the present moment. It's crazy, right? We can't predict so much of the future, but right now we can. What the sky's going on in the planet right now, it's really cool stuff. So, and it's not it's just a correlation, as above, so below. You know what I mean? Use your synchronicities and your dreams and everything to help you see what's going on and how Spirit is talking to you right now. It's hard to predict because Spirit is unpredictable. That's what I'll leave that at. But, so this is a quote that I actually found that came to me right as soon as I started to research for this video request. If you got any video requests, definitely request it down below. I will get to it. I have a lot of fun with these. So here's that quote that I found right when I started the video research for this video. So I'll leave you with this. There is no one single truth. There is only an increasing complexity. So let me know what you think. Comments, inputs, questions, video requests down below. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining me on this journey here, and I'll see you soon.